Hello, I hope you people are doing well. So as I said, in this video we'll start writing our query related to functions in SQL+. Okay, so let's begin.
So let's start with our multi-row functions. So first, let's see how many records we have. Okay. So in employee we have 14 records. Okay. So now select max of your salary from EMP. So our maximum salary, so maximum value in salary column is 5,000 and we got it. Let's see the minimum sal. So it's 800. Okay. Now moving on to our count. Count sal of from EMP. So there are 14 records. As I said, count will give you number of records. So now if I do select count of, if I do asterisk, it will give me the same result. Okay. Yeah. Then count of, if I do a commission column, let's see for null value what it does. It's not counting the null values. It is giving only the value which the records which has some value which satisfy the first rule of MRF, which is MRF will ignore null values. Okay. Now move on to our sum. Okay. So select sum of, if I do a sum of sal, it will give me 29025. Okay. Now let's do an average. So this is how your multi-row functions work. Now let's see, let's check for the rules of MRF. Okay. Now coming to the rules of MRF. So we have seen this MRF will ignore null values, right? Now coming to the second, we cannot pass any other argument along with multi-row functions. Okay. So let's see, let's check it's correct or not. So am I taking employee name sum of sal? So it is throwing me a single group functions, right? Why it is doing it will work, but along with that you have to have one more clause, which is a group by clause. Okay. Now let's check the where clause first. Like the third rule, that in where clause we cannot pass multi-row functions. Okay, let's check that one first, then I'll show you the group by also. So can you see it is showing group function is not allowed here. So our second rule also, third rule also satisfied here. Okay. Now let me show you that by using group by we can use multiple arguments along with multi-row functions. Okay, see here. So what this query will give me, department wise maximum salary. So it will group each department, I'll give me the maximum salary. So when we'll move on to group by clause, I'll make you understand what actually happening here. Okay, so the result you got, for each department number you're getting a maximum salary. Okay. Now let's move on to our, so this is how your MRF works, right? So we have seen all the rules and all 5 types of MRF, multi-row functions or group functions, aggregated functions. Now do our single row function. Okay, so in single row function it will take n number of output and it will give you it will take n number of input and it will give n number of output, right? So select, if I do lower e name from EMP, so what it will do, it will take each e name and convert into a lowercase. Okay, now let's check using e name column also. So select e name, lower e name from EMP. So can you see it is converting each employee name into a lowercase. Now moving on to our next character functions, which is init cap. Okay, so in the same query I've showed you e name, lower name, init cap. Okay, so can you see it, init cap, what it is doing, it is making each string first letter capital. Now moving on to our reverse, which is also a character function. So as we move on, we'll get to understand all these things by writing queries. Okay, so for this video is just I'm just doing it for you so that you could understand what it is doing. Now coming to our number function, which is a round. Okay, so select round. So I'm doing a round of 3.5. Okay, so what it will give you? Give you 4. Okay, similarly select, if I'll do floor of 3 some value, so it will give you 3. Why floor? Means it will give you the least integer value. Okay, round will give you in same round will work same as it work in maths. Okay, so seal will give you the maximum integer value. If you do a 3.1, it will give you 4. If it sees a 3.1, after that any value, it will give you a 4. Okay, so it will give you a maximum integer value. Coming to sign, it will give you what is the sign of that particular value. If I write a -2, it will give me -2. Now I'm writing a +2, it is giving a +1, right? So basically it will give you an output as a +1 and -1. Okay, based on the value. If the value is negative, it will give you a -1. If the value is positive, it will give you a +1. This is how trunk works. So this is how sign works. Coming to trunk works as a as your floor only. Okay, see, it is giving you least integer value. Okay, now let's move on to our date functions. Okay, so date functions, I'm directly have shown you what is the how we'll write it. As we move on with the queries, we'll get to know how I have written. So select toChar. What it will do, it will convert your date into a this format, ddmmy. So what is sysdate? In SQL, sysdate will give you current value. So today's date, it will give sysdate. Okay, so if I do a select toChar of sysdate ddmmy, so it will, can you see it is giving me output as a same format which I have mentioned here. So these are the formats you can get. So now can you see a select last day here of sysdate? What it is giving me, last day function will give you the last day of the current month. Okay, so there are more months between 2 days. Later on, as we move on with the query writing and interview questions, we'll get to know that. Okay, for time being, this is just I'm giving a glimpse of it, how to use your character function, number function, date function. Now coming to your miscellaneous function. So you have NVL, NVL2, case, decode, null, if, right? So for the time being, I'm just teaching you what null will do. And so null will remove your from commission column, it is removing your null values and changing it to the parameter 1000 which I have passed. So this is how your null works. Okay, now that's it for single row function. As we move on, we'll get to know more.
So yeah, that's all for this video. So in this video, I've just given a glimpse of how we'll use a function, multi-row function and single row functions, and I hope you people are making notes, and please write all these things in your own. Okay, and in the next video or in the upcoming videos, I'll make a video on the questions which have been asked in the interviews regarding these functions. Okay, so I hope you people are enjoying the videos and able to learn from it anything, and yeah, that's all. Thank you so much.